Hi, I'm Joe from the Roland Academy in the UK, and in this short 5 in 5 video we're going to be breaking down spot colours and how these work with your Roland printer in 5 easy steps. Part 1. What is a spot colour? Normally it's quite difficult for people to put a finger on it when they're asked what is a spot colour. When we're used to hearing terms like RGB and CMYK in digital printing, these refer to process colours. So these are combinations of colours in specific values which combine to make colours. If you want to find out more about process colours, we did another 5 in 5 video which you can check out. These used to be broken down into plates of colours, whereas now it's inks that combine in inkjet digital printing. When it was plates, you could get a specific ink made up for a certain colour if it was not achievable using your CMYK printing processes. This is where the term spot colour came from. Nowadays, when we hear of spot colours, we're used to things like Pantones or these different spot colour libraries. These are a set of reference values that devices can choose to try and achieve. So you can specify a specific value from a reference such as a Pantone, and then this will be producible across different devices by using these reference values. This is what we commonly call a spot colour. Step 2. Spot colours for a function. In VERSAWORKS, we use spot colours that the RIP will recognise as a function as well. For example, we have a spot colour called cut contour. Any of our print and cut devices will recognise this spot colour for a vector line, and it will know that that's where it wants to send a cut line rather than printing a colour. So this spot colour has a function that the RIP is programmed to recognise as a process. This would be the same for inks such as white, metallic or gloss, where these spot colours will tell the printer, rather than using a combination of the cyan, magenta, yellow and black, to send a different ink channel, such as the white ink channel for example. So this is how we achieve cut lines, white ink and special data within our designs. It's not just for colours as well though, this can be for data as well. For example, when we create variable data in VERSAWORKS, this also uses a spot colour so that the RIP recognises that function. Part 3. How devices hit spot colours. So where we have that reference colour, for example a Pantone colour, different devices need to put down different values of ink for example, or show different light strengths for RGB in order to achieve that colour. So one printer may need to put down a different CMYK value to another printer in order to get the same colour. This is down to the different ink formulations, the different software that are used, the different profiles or material that you're printing onto. This is the same for monitors and other digital devices that produce colours using light rather than ink. So all of these different devices will have different values that they need to use in order to print that colour. This is how spot colours work. Step 4. In VERSAWORKS, there are a range of different spot colour libraries which are built in. This means that VERSAWORKS can recognise these spot libraries, and it has the conversions built in order to print these using the CMYK colour mode. These different spot colours would normally have a default value set, but this is not the CMYK value set necessarily, so these are converted using VERSAWORKS. We can also see in VERSAWORKS what's happening to these spot colours by going into our settings and down to the file format tab, and we can see that the different spot colours have been recognised and that they will be converted using the RIP, so that the RIP will achieve those colours accurately using its CMYK colour set. Step 5. When we're converting spot colours in VERSAWORKS, it's important that when we have spot colours in our artwork that we go into the file format tab as we showed you previously, and we select the convert spot colours box as shown here. This means that those spot colours will be converted from their values into CMYK values so the printer can print them accurately. Here we can see the spot colour values on the left hand side and then the printer values on the right hand side, which will be converted. We can also make sure that we select that option as a default in our queue properties. So you can enter your queue properties, Go down to the file format section again and select that box as a default so it will always be selected. It's also important to note that when you do use spot colors, these will not be affected by the color management options that you choose in VERSAWORKS. These are only for CMYK and RGB process values that will be changed, but the profile will still use the correct ink limits, but the spot colors will not be affected by the color management options that you choose. And that's it, spot colors in 5 easy steps.